Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be diving into the psychology of selling for women, right? And the top 1% of strategies that women in every single industry use to be the absolute best at what they do, to sell in a way that feels aligned, feminine, and connection to their values and who they are, and also helps them hit the leaderboard every single time, helps them make more money than they ever dreamed of for themselves, for their families. So let's go straight into this. Before we do, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kayla Hodges. I am the founder and CEO of Elite Saleswomen, a sales training company specifically for all women in sales, whether you're in B2B, B2C, door-to-door, B2G. We help you. We focus on psychology, selling, and transformation work. So we do trauma work and healing at the same time, really helping you be the best that you possibly can be.
I acknowledge you for being a powerful woman. I acknowledge you for being selfless and being there for your little ones.
Her support of her and her team have truly been next level.
Build genuine rapport, get a real problem and a solution out of them. I learned to slow down in my own personal life, to just not be so anxious and worked up.
After learning her methodology and applying it, I have been able to take full control of the conversation in the DMs. I'm not chasing people down constantly anymore.
4 months into Kayla's community and being in her program, I feel like I've grown tremendously in both the sales world and my inner world.
After working with Kayla and joining the program, I feel like I have a better understanding of the fundamentals of sales and really learning how to build the gap for my prospects.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Let's dive straight into this training. I think it's really going to help you understand more about you so that you can sell in a more authentic way. So first of all, you want to understand the psychology behind selling. And women, let's talk about how women, we sell differently. Everything for a woman is fundamentally different because we are not wired the same way as man. We are naturally wired for connection. We are naturally wired to be more empathetic, wired to be more nurturing. And traditional selling doesn't have those components in mind when it comes to a selling process. Typically, it's focused on just getting a deal closed, a lot of outdated scripts, pushing techniques, objection handling, and just push, trying to pressure somebody to buy, and those simply don't work. Whereas our methodology, R.E.D, stands for Real, Empowering, Disarming Questions, this really focuses on human behavior and emotional intelligence and authenticity, doing it in a way where you get somebody to realize that what they're doing right now simply isn't working, and they're wanting to change their situation or change whatever their company is doing by buying your product or service. So here's a couple things. Number one, the brain behind the buy. People are going to buy from you emotionally. Okay. Why is that? Because the brain cannot make decisions without the emotional component. So it's your job to get somebody in a heightened emotional state so that they want to buy from you. Now, does that mean that they're going to feel like they're all over the place? No. We're going to do this in a really controlled way. We're going to ask really specific R.E.D questions to get emotions going through their body. We're trying to release certain chemicals in the body like cortisol, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. And when I have a mix of these emotions and a mix of these chemicals in the body, what happens is that the body starts to feel like this internal tension in order for them to want to do something, want to change your situation. It's kind of like if you have, let's say that you haven't really been focusing on going to the gym or doing anything, and then all of a sudden you put on your favorite pair of jeans and they feel real tight and you're like, oh shit girl, like I've been having way too many croissants, like I should know better. And then all of a sudden you want to do something about it and change it. This is helping you realize that your pants are gonna fit really too tight before that moment. You're bringing up stuff to the situation, blah, blah, blah. You're bringing up the situation to the surface, and you're making them realize that if they keep going the way they're going, their pants are not going to fit right. And this could be for any type of sales process, whether you're doing like large B2B enterprise companies and the way that they're doing processes is causing them to lose money, and you're making them realize that so they can make a change by buying your product or service, all the way to, B2C. Let's say you're talking to somebody at home that's really wanting to, go work out more. You're wanting to talk to somebody that wants to build a business. Regardless of what you're selling, this is going to work because you're selling to humans. And it's really important that you understand how a human's brain works and their emotion works so that you can ask the right questions to get them to change their situation in a way that would help them not have to put on tight pants. Okay. Your job is not to try to convince anybody. We're just trying to connect to somebody and connect your energy to their energy and make them realize that if they did nothing at all, it would be a far more risky than it would be to buy your product or service. And the only way to do that is asking really good R.E.D questions to make them realize that what they're doing right now simply isn't working. Also, trust triggers, okay? As a woman, we have a superpower, and it's the ability to instantly create rapport, and it's our ability to be intuitive. We have so much empathy, active listening, genuine curiosity to build trust quickly. And we are intuitive. We know when something isn't working. We can feel when a prospect pulls back. We can feel if there's something behind what they're saying. So you naturally have the ability to do this. The one thing that women need to work on is our ability to challenge, our ability to ask really good questions because our intention, because we care, because we want more. People are not buying these products. They're buying the feelings. They're buying the way that they want to change. And the same thing for services too, right? It's because there's pain or future pain, and that's causing them to want to change their situation and buy from you. Now, let's break down this method so that you can understand what this looks like. And let me pull this up so you can see it. So this is R.E.D. R.E.D stands for Real Empowering Disarming Questions. It's a specific series of questions that gets your prospect to want to buy from you, regardless of the industry, regardless of who you're talking to, again, because you're talking to humans. Now, it is a little bit different if you're talking to B2B versus B2C or B2G, because if you have a multiple sales process, in your transition, you'd be transitioning into a second call versus transitioning into your presentation, okay? So just make a little side note there. But all these questions do different things. So you start off building rapport. We're asking current situation questions. We're bringing their situation up to the surface. We're making them feel like what they're doing right now isn't really working, which is causing pain in the body, okay, which is pain awareness questions. We get to figure out what they've done in the past to try to change their situation, what they're really wanting in the future, right? And then we're looking at ramification questions. What's going to happen if they don't do anything? And again, you're releasing all these different chemicals in the body. I just wanted to stop this training really fast and let you know that we are here to support you with anything that you have. So I want you to stop and I want you to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you comment on anything that resonates with you. And if you have any sales questions or you just need support, or maybe there's another training that could help you more, I want you to text me and my team. It's 323-498 What is it, 2439?
2439.
Oh, I did it. 323-498-2439. Let's get back into the training. So in pain awareness, you're releasing cortisol. In future awareness, you're releasing serotonin, oxytocin, and ramifications. Cortisol again, and what this does is it builds this tension in the body. And the tension in the body has to go somewhere. And the only obvious choice would be for them to change their situation and buy from you. We also ask really great ways to present this. Every single presentation feels really custom because of the way that we do it. And we get them to commit to you that they really feel like what you're doing, what you're selling is going to help solve their problem. Everything that ever sold in the world all solves a problem and or an emotional need. And so it's really important that you understand here that we're just trying to see if we can help solve this person's problem in the first place. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to see if there's even a thing to be sold here. And what I see a lot of people make a mistake with is that they just try to pitch everybody. Like, not everyone is your client, not everyone is your prospect. You have to be able to ask really good questions to see if they have a problem that you can help solve. And there, of course, like with integrity, you're offering something that you know is really going to help this person. So since we're real, I want you to ask authentic questions that go beyond a surface level. Empowering, we're going to frame these questions to make the prospect feel like they're in control. However, you're in control of the situation the whole entire time. And then D for disarming, you are disarming this prospect. You're disarming the pressure from the sale. There's so many times where you get on a call with a salesperson and it makes you feel icky. Like, people don't like salespeople. We want to remove the pressure out of the room so we can have just a genuine conversation. I want you to feel like I am on your team. I understand you better than anybody else. And I care enough about you to be able to show you how to solve the problem that I helped you find that's going on in your world. And why this works is that this taps into the psychological principle of autonomy. You know, people are more likely to say yes when they don't feel pushed. But more importantly, it's gonna, besides just the being pushed, you also have to like know how to challenge somebody, because I have to be able to persuade you and influence you because I know you better than everybody else. I'm connecting to you emotionally. I know your desires. I know what you're afraid of. I know what's going on. Yet I will not buy into whatever story that you're telling yourself about how there's some issue in the way for you not to change. Whether you're afraid, or whether it's logistical, or whether you don't have the time and the money, blah, 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 whatever objection you give yourself, I will not buy into that story, because I want you to be able to get the change, the outcome that you are looking for. And therefore, I'm going to show that and present that to you and not buy into whatever you're saying that's going to hold yourself back. So the top 1%, what sets them apart isn't just what they do. It is how they think. This is so important. Here's the psychological shifts that you really need to make if you want to be a top 1% earner, if you really want to be the best. And number one is you need to be able to detach from the outcome. So many women were so obsessed with being perfect and the perfectionism and like all the social media and the blah, blah, blah. And yet sometimes we're so freaking hard on ourselves. Like, do the best that you can. Show up. Train. Like, you don't want to be somebody that like doesn't actually train and then shows up and tries to be good at sales. It's like somebody that wants to be really, really great at the recital and never goes to the practice sessions, or somebody that wants to go to the playoffs and never practice. Like, if you showed up for a game and you never practice and you were in basketball, like, how do you think that you're going to win? Like, that is literally like you're guessing. You're literally hoping and praying for the best. Like, that doesn't really work. When you are so outcome-based, it creates so much pressure for you. When you're service-based, when you're thinking about someone else besides yourself, besides just you closing a deal, you're thinking about the outcome of somebody else, it can be felt, okay? It's not just what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, it's the intention behind what you say, and it's your belief in yourself. You have to show up in such a powerful way for you, for somebody else, that you get out of your own damn way. That you get your ego out of the way and you show up in the most powerful, authentic version of yourself, and you're focused on somebody else's outcome and you're being there for them, but you're detached from the outcome. If they say no to you, it doesn't shut down your whole world. It doesn't ruin everything for you. You're just willing to go train more so that you can become better the next time. Secondly, rejection is not personal. If somebody says no, this is not failure. This is feedback. Feedback of what you did that caused this person to say no to you. So take an evaluation, be like, okay, like, what can I do better next time? The biggest mistake that I see salespeople make is that they lose a sale and then they go into the next call without practicing whatever lost the sale, or they go into the next day without practicing it. Let's say today somebody gives you an objection and you don't work on overcoming that objection, and you go into the sales day tomorrow without practicing it, you are going to get the same issue. You got to have responsibility and allow yourself to train to get better, get better. And then also confidence, okay? Confidence is not magic. There's two parts of confidence. Number one, repetition. And then number two, belief in yourself, you healing your shit, okay? Because if you are bringing trauma and you're bringing stuff that's coming into a sales process and you feel bad about yourself, you know, you were told in your life that you were never going to amount to anything, or somebody was being mean to you and you haven't processed that, you haven't released that, what's going to happen is that somebody is going to be not the nicest to you, or somebody is going to tell you no, and you're going to take it so personally, and it's going to be so discouraging because you have so much stuff in your body and your nervous system is not calm, you're not regulated, and therefore you're going to feel overwhelmed and stressed. You have to practice and train, and yet you have to work on you at the same time, and your confidence will grow, okay? You got to be able to fake it till you make it, baby girl. Got to look in the mirror and be like, hey, I'm proud of you. I command you to be calm. I command you to be excellent. I command you to be confident. Doing mirror work is one of the most powerful ways you can get yourself to calm down. You know, release, right? Like, when's the last time you had a good cry? Just get everything out of your body. Allow yourself to really learn to let some things go. Maybe you have a lot of unforgiveness in your heart. Forgiveness is not about telling somebody that what they did is okay. It's about you being free. Can you write a letter saying everything that you need to say and asking yourself and asking God to let it go? Life is too short for you to be holding on so much resentment, so much anger, so much frustration in your heart. Now, here is your next steps. First of all, I would audit your sales process. Look at your script. Ask yourself, where can I ask better questions? Secondly, you want to make sure that you're practicing role playing with a colleague, role playing in front of the mirror. You got to practice out loud so you can get better, so you can sound better. Record yourself, listen to yourself, right? Listen to your sales conversations. Be like, oh, I sounded weird there. Let me try that again and practice that again. And also shifting your mindset. Like, what is one limiting belief about yourself about sales that doesn't really work? And what's a different belief that would be the exact opposite of that can really help you? Like, oh my gosh, like I never get it right. I choose to believe that every time that I try, I get better, right? And allow yourself to kind of flip the script on yourself. Like, you are your own person that could help you the most, but yet sometimes it's like we get in our own damn way. Now, remember, sales is not about you. Sales is about the people in front of you. It's about helping people. It's about service. The top 1% aren't the best just because they work really hard. They do work hard, but they work smart and they connect deeper. They care more. So if this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, share with another woman in sales. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Keep leading with your heart, elite saleswoman. I'll see you soon.